dumbbell snatch and lateral burpees over the dumbbell. Dumbbell snatch is going to be a little bit different than what we typically do, so it's not alternating. Every time you guys are doing a set of the dumbbell snatches, it's going to be on the same arm until you're done with that round. So round of 21, Elle's going to go ahead and pick up that dumbbell. She's going to do 21 reps on one side. It doesn't matter if she starts with right, left, but she needs to complete all 21 reps on that one side. On the dumbbell snatch, both heads of the dumbbell must come in contact with the floor at the same time. You can't do like a bounce bounce or do like a bounce bounce. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Do like a bounce with one head on each side. Like, those are still pretty good. But if it's kind of like tap tap, technically that's a no rep. Yeah, and if you point one head of the dumbbell down, that also does not count. That's a no rep. Both heads of the dumbbell must come in contact with the ground. Also, judges, have your athletes do a couple of reps first. That way you kind of know what to kind of look out for. So Elle doesn't have any limitation up overhead. Go ahead, do one dumbbell snatch and keep it up overhead. She's perfectly straight up overhead. There are going to be some people that have some kind of limitation. Bend your arm just a little bit. And that might be their overhead position. As long as they do every single rep like that, that's fine. But if somebody like Elle has no overhead limitation, and now she's starting to look like that, that doesn't count. So judge, give them a warning, say, hey, make sure you're punching up, keep that arm straight. And if she keeps doing it, give her a no rep. I promise you she's going to start fixing that up after she gets a 1 or 5 no reps. Burpees over the dumbbell. This is going to be a little bit different than over the bar because the dumbbell is pretty small, so it's not harder because, I mean, it's lower than doing it over the barbell, but it's a smaller range that you guys have to jump over. So that's going to be a little bit on the tricky side. So go ahead, do one burpee and then jump over the dumbbell. One burpee, chest comes in contact with the ground, and she needs to jump over. So a lot of people are kind of doing this like little hop. Do one where you're kind of like barely hopping over. It's like a skip over the dumbbell. And just skip like 1 foot at a time. No, so that's still actually really good. So a lot of people are kind of doing this one. That's not a jump anymore. It needs to be a jump. A lot of you guys have no issue doing a jump up to 20-inch box, 24-inch box. Just jump over the dumbbell. It shouldn't be a little hop or a little skip. Make sure you guys are jumping. It doesn't have to be a 2-foot takeoff, but it needs to be an actual jump. Also, really common on the burpees. Elle, do a burpee, have your stomach come in contact but not your chest. So that's still a little sketchy. That's technically a no rep. So a lot of people pull themselves up. They don't let themselves come all the way down. Your chest needs to come in contact with the ground. So do a good rep. Chest is all the way down. Good. And jump over the dumbbell. Also, this is the tricky part. Some people are jumping over, but they were slightly behind or in front of the dumbbell. Your feet need to come over the dumbbell at some point. So do a big jump, but not over the dumbbell. Just a jump. Jump over, but not the, yeah. So technically, that's a no rep. She jumped over, but she's not doing it over the dumbbell. That doesn't count either. So this is going to be the most annoying part during your warm-up. I would play around, see where my hand placement is, where I'm doing the jump over, so I'm not jumping over, but I'm not jumping over the actual dumbbell, and you get a no rep that you could have done. What's up? Yeah, so when you're coming in and out of the burpee, not the jump over, you guys can jump up out of the burpee, step out of the burpee, that doesn't matter. So do a step up. So she can do that the way she's coming out of the burpee, that doesn't count. That doesn't matter. It's only the over the dumbbell that you need to jump and not step over. Anything? Any questions? Anything? All right. Rep scheme. The actual workout is going to be 21 snatches, arm number 1, 21 burpees over the dumbbell, 21 dumbbell snatch, arm number 2, 21 burpees over the dumbbell. Then you guys have 15 of everything, 9 of everything. There is a 15-minute cap. If you do get capped, judges, make sure you are writing down the times. There are some tie break times, so look up, see where you have to go ahead and fill that in. Athletes, make sure your name is actually written down and whether you guys did RX or scale. If you didn't finish under that cap, write down how many reps you actually got. And also, I know there's a good amount of people that are kind of on this boat. Say you're somebody that normally doesn't do RX. You normally don't pick up a 35 dumbbell or a 50-pound dumbbell, but you want to see how far you guys can get. That's fine, but be smart. The last thing I want is you guys trying to do RX, go as far as you guys can, and then you hurt yourself. You can't even do the next 2 weeks. So if you guys want to start as RX, maybe you get through the round of 21, but after the round of 21, you're like, oh, my back is already shot. I don't know. Cap yourself there. have another dumbbell, a 20, at this point it doesn't matter, you can have a 15, 20, doesn't matter. Have your judge write down how far you guys got on RX, that's gonna be their actual score. And then the remaining part, that's just gonna be a workout for you guys for the remaining time in that 15-minute time cap. Questions, guys? Oh, also, with the standards, that's the standards for RX and scale. There's nothing different aside from the weights. So the weights are gonna be different, but other than that, everything does stay the same RX or scale. Questions, guys? All right, guys.